All right. So the other day at fencing practice, we had a bear pit. And when we do birthday, bear pit is what we do for somebody's birthday, where we make them fight a number of passes equal to the age that they're turning, whatever. But for the last pass, we always do something wild and crazy or whatever. Often involves big ass swords. So we had two conflicting different ideas of crazy this time. One of us wanted to swarm her with daggers, like Julius Caesar style. Then my coach jumped in with the big greatsword and wanted to fight her with the big greatsword. Thought that would be funny. So didn't know we were playing the dagger thing. And so my friend complained to me for bailing on the dagger thing because I was supposed to initiate it. I was like, what I was supposed to do, coach, the president of the club, jumped in with a greatsword. And I was like, although I'm pretty sure I could take him on with a greatsword with only having 2 daggers. And everybody was like, no, you can't. And I was like, well, let's see. So I told my coach / president here, so that's this guy over here. I told him to go grab the greatsword again, greatsword trainer, which is nice and padded, so it's not too bad. You can hit decently with it. And I went and grabbed my 2 daggers, and then I decided to face off against him, right? So this is me, 2 daggers. This is my coach, president of our fencing club, with the giant greatsword trainer. So let's see how this works out for me. So obviously I'm at a huge range disadvantage, so it's hard for me to close. So there you see the first impact there, which I kind of parry with the daggers. So the other thing here is that he's obviously taking it a little bit easy on me because it's not super safe to really go hard with the greatsword because you can swing those things real hard. So even though it's padded, the amount of weight behind it, even though I'm wearing protective gear, it's just you could still concuss people and things can be bad. So he's going a little light here, which is unfortunate. So that hit there. I'm not sure if I would have parried in reality, but you'll see what I'm trying to go for here is I'm trying to get my daggers up and angled and get my shoulders up and get a good solid body structure so that when the hit comes in, I deflect it off of me instead of just absorbing it. So I'm trying to get a good solid body structure. So I'm not using muscle, using bones, right? Get a good structure up and then deflect it off down my arms, hit the dagger and deflect off instead of just stopping the force directly, obviously, because you can't just stop it. It's a greatsword. Right. And I don't. Well, let's see. So that first pass is okay. But you can see here.
Roll.
So there I get stabbed, which is unfortunate.
Dodge roll.
Between the weapons, nonetheless. So there I slide because they kept telling me to dodge roll, but I'm coming off of a 5-month hiatus here. And so I haven't been doing a lot of fencing recently or a lot of rolling recently. And I didn't feel like I wasn't confident in my ability to roll in a fencing mask without breaking my neck. I mean, not breaking my neck, but I just had a vision of me trying to roll and my mask getting caught because of me not compensating when I tuck my head for the mask sticking off the top. And that getting caught and then yanking my head as my body tries to come around and it ending very poorly for me. That's all I could think of when they were telling me to roll. Because I haven't ever done a roll in a fencing mask before, and I haven't, I was rusty at this point. So instead, I decided I was going to run in and slide here.
RJ, dodge roll.
I do use Streamer Bot. Yeah, so you can see right here. Yeah, so I run in and decide I'm going to slide, but for some reason, I'm still leaning forward. So part of the problem here is that the posture I'm trying to have in this general fight is a good, Streamer Bot is clutch, is a good leaning forward kind of braced posture. And then for the slide, you have to fall backwards, right? You have to throw your weight backwards to get your legs in. So that's part of the problem I have here is I'm still in the forward facing posture. And then this point is I think where I decide I'm going to slide because I run in thinking I'm going to slide, duck and slide when the sword comes around. So at this point I'm running in. Oh, I'm also taking way too big of steps. So I see the sword coming around. I do play games. Believe it or not, I do. I will after this. I see the sword coming around. And so here you can see right here where I'm trying to shift my weight. And I'm trying to shift it to the side here because I do not have time to get under it. Yeah, so I tried. Yeah, this just ends real poorly for me. Yeah, you can see me trying to collapse down and extend my daggers out. But I just completely eat it here. Well, actually, Yeah, no, I completely eat it right here. I don't know why that sword comes around free here instead of bouncing off of me. Oh no, there it is. There's the bounce. Yeah, I completely eat it and then crash into my coach. That's all good. So that did not work out well. You can hear my teammates laughing in the background.
Slide, not a roll.
And there you go. You hear me say I didn't really want to roll with the helmet on.
Just break fall, boss.
All right, so that I think. All right, so I do get in there on that one, but I think I also take that viciously to the leg. Let's see what impacts. Oh, he's flat there. Because see, he's trying to just fuck around and do shit one-handed, and so he's coming in flat. As hail. Yeah, so he does hit me there before I get in. It is flat. Although with a Greatsword, that's probably enough force to knock me off balance. What am I drinking? I'm drinking a protein shake. That's probably enough force to drop me off balance. So IRL, I probably don't get this hit in. But I'm pretty happy overall. This is what, my third pass with daggers against Greatsword. And I managed to kind of maybe get a hit in. I'll take it. I'll take it. Again, just trying to play with distance here. Because in theory, he should be slow to recover. So what he's doing here is actually more or less how you would use a Greatsword. Again, I just eat it right there. And again, I wasn't in position. I wasn't prepared. I guess I thought I was out of range. I guess he took a step. But the way he's using the Greatsword here, the way he's swinging around is how you would use a Greatsword. You want to swing it around. You also want to do, he's doing more overhanded descending cuts because why not? But historically, if you're using Greatsword, you would do more rising cuts. Almost exclusively, you would do rising cuts. So you'd whip it around. You would do a lot of whipping around like this. And then if you wanted to cut into somebody, you would come up with it. Is this practice for real life or something? Yeah, it's this is what we do. We do historical. I have a club where we do historical fencing. So we study medieval texts, figure out how they fenced, and then we fence like it, and we train to get better and try to see how good we can get at fencing in different historical weapon sets. And my club's gotten pretty good. And my coaches have published several books, several translations of medieval texts. Well, namely three or four. Yeah. And we study it, and yeah, we're one of the better clubs out there at it. But anyway, yeah. So if you're throwing, because the problem is if you come down overhand like this, your sword will get. It's hard to recover that. Your sword can get stuck in the ground too if it's like outside. You get stuck in the ground, and it's hard to recover. It takes a long time to recover that. What you usually want to do is you want to swing up, typically, because if you swing up and you're up here and you miss, it's super easy to recover from here and come back down. Right. But if you come down and you miss, it's hard to come back up and then attack again. You know, you see what I'm saying? But yeah, you'd want to do a lot of swinging motions like this because the only real purpose to a Greatsword, well, there's a couple of purposes. But the primary purpose typically of a sword that large is just to create space and try to keep people away from you. That's usually what we're trying to do with a sword like this. The sword was used by bodyguards, right? So if you're one person trying to defend a high value person from like a mob trying to gang up on them, you just use that big sword, clear space, and just try to move them to a safer location, try to get them out of that situation where they're being mobbed, right? It was also used in like the early Renaissance, mid-rate Renaissance, I guess, by artillery crews. So if you have like artillery siege equipment and you're like a little crew on a hill, you have a Greatsword with you so that if somebody gets to you, if some people come and attack you in your position, yeah, that's pretty interesting. You can just use that sword to make space, and hopefully maybe one guy can keep away a bunch of people. Maybe long enough to get a few more shots of artillery off, maybe long enough for the cavalry to come back around and bail you out, what have you, right? Because it's a situation where you have a small artillery queue against like a mob coming in. So those are the primary uses of Greatswords. That's why you're typically going to swing it around like that. The other use was for breaking spear pike formations, but that's another thing. So yeah, where were we here? Yeah, that's he's getting bonged to the head. My friend's laughing. So this is the point where I guess he got bored and decided to just go full on Elden Ring, Dark Souls boss style, and just wanted to do a full ass. See, I eat it there again. See, I was trying to wait for him to do those big overhand thrusts and then like jump in on him, but he can recover too quickly. I don't know if that's just the way it is, or if it's an artifact of him using a lighter trainer sword and not a real heavy sword. Oh, I got him that one. That's nice. Got him. That was one good hit. Oh, almost had him there. Oh, I backed up there. How did I have that? Yeah, you can see my arms and shoulders aren't nearly up enough to be able to take that kind of hit that I need to be able to take here. Like if I get hit, oh, there you go. Yeah, that wasn't so bad. But yeah, I do take it. Let's see. What's the situation there? Do I take that? See, where does that actually come down? I think it comes straight into my shoulder. I think it entirely misses my daggers. Or dagger here. Yeah, so it comes in. Well, it is really hard to see. Oh no, that totally catches. You can see the dagger is bending there. You can see the dagger bending here. You can see my right hand dagger is still straight. Left hand dagger is bending. So it did totally catch on the dagger. Yeah, then it pops. Yeah, you can see the dagger bent, pop forward as I come in. Oh, it comes in on the inside of my dagger. Oh, that's the problem. So I didn't get it deflected to the outside. It comes in, clips off the inside of my dagger and comes in. All right. So that's not good. So if I had been 2 inches further to the right there, I would have had it. I would have had what I wanted. And I was in. This is a decent position here. I got my arm up. My shoulders. I don't think my shoulders are up high enough here. But this is okay. This is really what I was going for here. Was try to create this deflection. But unfortunately, I catch it on the wrong side of the dagger, on the inside versus the outside here. So it blasts through and hits me on the head. So I wonder how this would have gone in real life, because a metal dagger wouldn't have bent like that. Well, it might have. But also the force coming in with an actual greatsword could have just blown through the dagger anyway. I could have just nailed the dagger into my head. Dagger is pretty straight. Well, I don't know. It's possible it would have flipped off with a sturdier dagger. That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. Huh. I feel like I might have gotten gypped there by the plastic dagger.
Try an iron gate.
Yeah, see, now he's doing those characteristic rising cuts right there. Those are the rising cuts he would do. Typically, you don't do hive mom talk like that. Yeah, what happens there? I think he just caught me sleeping. Yeah, he just catches me asleep at the wheel here if my dagger is completely separated. Fun fact, when you're fighting with 2 weapons, never fully separate them like that. Your weapons should always be together, exactly so this doesn't happen. I mean, typically you're not fighting in this situation, but you always want your weapons together, because the last thing you want to get hit by when you're fighting with 2 weapons is between the weapons. Big faux pas. So always keep them together. Don't let anyone hit you between the weapons. Yeah, and I just get fucking wrecked here. Okay. I just get wrecked. See, there you go. It's me.
I know.
There you go. Proof that it's me. Proof that it's me. All right. Yeah, so that was that. So we did a couple of passes for fun. Obviously, I got pretty wrecked because that's a tough matchup to win.